Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So a lot of people forget that bismuth is only 2 or 3 times more common than gold, and there's just very little demand for it at the moment. And it's kind of weird because it kind of feeds on itself, right? There's a lot of good uses of bismuth, but it's seen as this cheap metal. And so right now, as I speak, a lot of ammunition is made of bismuth now, and but we're just starting, right? We Americans shoot 10 billion rounds every year. If we started using bismuth for all of those rounds, it's game over. And as I speak, there's a lot of, well, recently there's a lot of crises of lead in water pipes, right? A lot of them are being dug up and being replaced with bismuth. You scale it up to the whole country, it's pretty much game over. So that's how little bismuth there is. Obviously, Pepto Bismol, right? If you're reliant on that, please get over your habit, obviously, because it may not be around forever. And so I hope you will join me in hunt brothering bismuth. This is actually 94% bismuth, 6% tin. I finally figured out how to pour one of these without it becoming a huge mess on the back. And unfortunately, I discovered to my dismay, you cannot anodize it. But that's fine. It pours pretty well as well. But if you want to anodize, you'll have to use the pure bismuth. Here's a pyramid that I poured out of the 64%, 94% bismuth, 6% tin. And to give you an idea of how little bismuth there is in the world, there's about 1 billion pounds, worth about anywhere from $5 to $7 billion. So Elon Musk could probably just pay for it out of his loose change. Well, not really, because Elon Musk, his 300 or 400 billion or whatever it is today, he doesn't have that sitting in a bank account somewhere, obviously, right? He'd have to sell some of his Twitter or sell some of his SpaceX stocks to get to that. And when he does that, the price will tank, right? And when he's buying the bismuth price will go up, right? So it's kind of hard to say if Elon Musk could single-handedly Hunt Brothers bismuth, but I think the rest of us actually have a fighting chance to do that. And I was just Googling some numbers about how much money we Americans waste on various things. We spend $250 billion a year on alcohol alone. So if we just cut back on our drinking, to give you an idea of how much you would have to cut back, right? Imagine you drank a beer every day, right? If you could cut that out down to 11 ounces of beer, right? About that much, right? And buy bismuth with the difference, right? Or if everybody who drank beer did that, I think we would get there. I think we would get there. Now, to give you an idea of how much more money we waste on other things, right? $80 billion a year on cigarettes. So if you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, right, which is a pretty typical amount, right, and you cut out 2 cigarettes a day and you buy bismuth with it, that will get us to the entire bismuth market in 1 year. That's just 1 year. So if you're a smoker, cut down on 2 cigarettes a day, right? Not to mention how much longer you'll live if you do that, and buy bismuth, right? Now, some people have already switched to vaping. We spend 15 billion a year on vaping. That's about 2 world supplies of bismuth every year just on our vapes, right? So cut your vaping in half, buy bismuth. My favorite, soda, we spend $65 billion a year on soda. So if you drink, let's imagine you drink a 12-ounce can of soda, cut it down by like let's see, you need 7 billion. So cut out like a tenth of your soda habit. You won't even feel it, right? You'll actually, if you cut out a tenth of your soda habit, you might feel so much better that you decide to just quit the whole soda habit altogether, right? And buy bismuth with it, right? Now, This one's going to get a lot of people angry. So if you're prone to get angry, maybe you should turn off the video. Um, I just had a big problem at my job. I wanted to go away from Phoenix because there was a Taylor Swift concert here in Phoenix, and I knew traffic was going to be a mess. And I wanted to go away, and my work gave me heck about it because I think that I don't know what was going on that week. A lot of my colleagues didn't want to go. Oh, I know why. Students were. I work at a tutoring center. There were very few students that week, and so most of my colleagues they didn't want to come because obviously the hours were shorter. They still had to give their week and make fewer hours, and I ended up being sacrificed for all that. Now I'm still angry about that, and so I decided to Google how much money people spend on concerts every year. It's $55 billion a year. That's 6 times the world's supply of bismuth, right? So every sixth concert, if you decide not to go there and buy bismuth instead, I mean, think about all the stupid concerts that people are going to, not just Taylor Swift, right? Most people that I know who have gone to a Taylor Swift concert in the past really didn't have much to show for it, right? A lot of people thought that was the stupidest thing they ever did. But even if they didn't think that way, they have very little to show for it, right? So just skip the concert, buy bismuth instead. See, look at that. We waste, depending on how you want to look at it, many times the world supply. And that's just America, right? All of these numbers that I gave. Imagine around the world how much money people waste that they could be buying bismuth with, right? And not to mention, a lot of the bismuth that people buy ends up getting wasted as well, right? They shoot with it, they swallow it, you get the idea, right? Cosmetics, right? So buy a big bismuth bar and sit on it, right? Or make some art out of it, right? This August 15th, temporarily go on a bismuth standard. All right. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.